Hello, how's it going, guys? This is Mr. Allen. Today is April the 14th, and we are going over plant cell parts. Now, there are 8 parts of the plant cell we're going to go over, but I want to start off with what a cell is. So, a cell is the smallest unit of measurement in a living organism. So remember how I said an atom is the smallest unit in general? Well, think of the cell as in plants and animals is the smallest unit, living organism unit in plants and animals, and it is the building block for multicellular organisms. So like the cells, millions of cells in our body combined to make us be able to move, think, breathe, and do action. So that's what a cell is. Now, what we actually need to know is the cell wall. Now, the cell wall, it gives the cell strength and stiffness. So this helps the cell keeps its shape. So think about, let's say, your skeleton or your skin. My skin allows my body to keep its shape, and my skeleton allows it to move. So the cell wall for a plant is like the skeleton or the skin. It keeps its shape, and it allows that stiffness for the organism. So I think that's a good analogy for cell wall. Next, we have cell membrane. Now, the cell membrane controls which substance enters and leaves the cell. So when you think of cell membrane, I want you to think of like your lungs, where whenever you expand or contract, it controls which substance. So anytime you're breathing in oxygen or letting out carbon dioxide, your cell membrane is the one controlling that. So cell membrane controls which substance enter and leave the cell. That's what the cell membrane does. The cell wall gives your cell strength and stiffness. Now, I highly recommend that you write these down and like get familiar, because you're going to need to know 8 of them, and they're going to be on the work tomorrow. So cell membrane, it controls which substance enters and leaves the cell. Think of it like the gatekeeper. It says, well, you're not allowed in, go ahead, you're allowed. Cytoplasm. Now, this is going to be the thick liquid that fills up the space inside the cell membrane. So I want you to think of the cell membrane like your brain is what, 70%, more than 70% water. So I want you to think of it, cytoplasm is that liquid inside the brain or inside the cell membrane that controls all the chemical reactions. So, there are chemical reactions happening in my brain that are allowing me to speak, talk, think, and basically move my entire body. So the cytoplasm is that thick liquid inside the brain that allows these interactions to happen. So cytoplasm is the thick liquid that fills inside the cell membrane, and a whole lot of chemical reactions are happening in the cytoplasm. So next one we have chloroplast. Now, this uses water, carbon dioxide, and energy from the sunlight to make sugar. So sugar is basically all that plants, that's food. That's what plants eat, that's their nutrition. And they use water, carbon dioxide, what humans breathe out, and energy from the sun. So chloroplasm is just that process of changing water, carbon dioxide, and energy from sunlight to make it into sugar. So whenever you think chloroplast, I want you to think basically converting food or converting carbon dioxide, water into sugar. So it's the conversion into sugar for plants. Chloroplast. Chloroplast converting water, carbon dioxide, and sun energy into sugar, which is what the plant eats or uses for nutrition, if you want to use a better word than eat. So mitochondria, yes, mitochondria all this is break down sugar so that the plant can get energy. So I want you to think of the mitochondria like your stomach. Whenever you eat, it breaks down the food and it converts it to energy for your entire body. So mitochondria, remember, right? And the mitochondria breaks down sugar. So the chloroplasm changes carbon dioxide, water, or energy into sugar, and then mitochondria breaks down sugar. So I want you to think of this is a secret that I learned or I was told in college that I think really helps. Anytime you see like a new word and you're not too familiar with it, I like to relate it to something I already know, something that the brain has already remembered. So for mitochondria, my example would be I have a cousin named Drea, or Drea, I just call it Drea, and she's always breaking things. Like she's always breaking stuff, throwing Legos. So for me personally, whenever I see mitochondria, I say mitochondria, mitochondria. All right, cousin Drea breakdown. So I want you to, this is the best way, in my opinion, think of something that you know or something that you can relate the words to. So you can say, all right, mitochondria, for me personally, it's cousin Drea. I'm like, she's always breaking things. I'm like, cousin Drea breaking down mitochondria, breaks down the cell. That's what I do personally. So we did cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm, chloroplast, mitochondria, vacuole. I might be butchering that. Vacuole, V-A-C-U-O-L-E, vacuole. And this basically just stores nutrition. So it stores the sugar in the cell. I believe it also stores water and waste. Yeah. So the vacuole is just, think of it like a camel. It just stores, or like a water bottle. And then water vase? There's a water that begins with V, but all vacuole, vase, I think I might be mistaken that, but just think of it as holding or storage. Sugar, water, waste. Vacuole just stores. Let's see. All right, two more. The nucleus. Now, the nucleus, I believe, directs cell activity. Yeah. So it sends instructions to different parts of the cell. So I want you to think of the nucleus like there's a principle, which would be like the cell membrane. No, I'm sorry, not cell membrane, but the principal, and then there's the teachers. The principal comes up with the ideas, and then the teachers actually implement them. So the nucleus, it directs these activities. Another example would be like there's your brain, which is the boss, and then your central nervous system is actually sending out the signals to your body to do, move, think, breathe in, breathe out. The brain comes up with everything, but the nucleus or the central nervous system actually gives the direction. So whenever you think of nucleus, it's giving out the directions to the different parts of the cell to do this or to do that. And now the last one, chromosomes, they contain information that the cell uses for growth and activities. Now, the chromosome is inside of the nucleus, and basically this is like your bank of information. This is where it's safe and it stores all the information that the cell uses so it knows. So this would be like your brain. It stores everything and it keeps everything safe. And then if it needs anything, it comes to the chromosome and it knows exactly this is what the brain, this is what you do for growth and activities. But the chromosome is just like that bank that keeps everything safe inside your mind. So again, go over again, we have the cell wall, which just gives the cell strength and stiffness, keeps that shape. Cell membrane, which just controls which substance enters or leaves, like your lungs, or the gatekeeper. Cell membrane just locks it up. Cytoplasm, and that's just the thick liquid inside your cell membrane. So I want to think of like your brain. It's just that thick liquid inside your head or your brain that has all the chemical reactions Yeah, that happens inside the cell membrane. Chloroplast, and this is just changing water, carbon dioxide, and energy into sugar. Then we have mitochondria, which breaks down the sugar, which releases it into energy. Vacuole, yeah, just water bottle. Try to think of a water bottle that begins with V, or something that relates to you that begins with V, and all it does is store nutrition, such as sugar, water, and it also stores waste. Nucleus is going to be just directing the activity, like a central nervous system. It's not the brain. I apologize. It's not the brain, but it's just directing what activity to do. So the principal is here. The teacher will be like the nucleus, and then it's just implementing or giving out instructions of what to do, directing these activities. And then lastly is chromosomes, and then this is just the bank, the main hub, and it just stores all the information for growth and activities. So I believe in the rule of 3. What I would do is, me personally, there are 8 words here, so 24 times. I would just cover, I would write all of them down, write all the instructions, and then one at a time, I'm like, all right, cell wall, like cell wall. What does a cell wall do again? And then that constant repetition is what's going to get you where you need to be. So cover up cell wall, say, what is cell wall again? Like, that's right, it gives, think about wall, where the bones are the skeleton of the body, and it stores, strengthens and stiffens. So it helps the cell keeps its shape. Goes cell membrane. All right, membrane, cell membrane. That's right. What did Mr. Allen say? Think of the lungs or the gatekeeper, where it controls what substance can enter or leave the cell. So like, this can't enter, come in, you can enter, so on. And I'll go so on and so forth with each. You don't even have to do it in order. You could just be going through, and then afterwards just cover it and be like, all right, vacuole. What is vacuole again? And do that, I would say, at least 3 times with each, and you are going to really see the difference of remembering them. And try to attach it to something you already know. That is something invaluable that a teacher told me in college. Try to attach it to something you already know, and you will always going to remember. So that's it for now. Pause the video, write all of them down. Writing repetition, putting your hand over it, remembering it. Getting it wrong, picking up, reading it again, covering it, that repetition, believe me, it's really going to help, and it's going to help you for IXL tomorrow when you actually have those lessons. Thank you for your time, and you guys have a great day.